Good morning. Happy Monday. I've been up for a while, but I haven't been on this live video. I don't think I actually did a live video yesterday. I apologize for that. Sundays are my day to take off and be off of my phone, offline, try to disconnect because I try to show up for my clients on a regular basis all day long, morning and night during the week. And so Sunday's my day to just relax. So I encourage you, remember, even with logging food, it doesn't have to be perfect. What I do want to let you guys know is that I understand what it's like to try to log food and to be a binge addict or to be a person that overeats and binges. Um, I have tons and tons of clients that I get on the phone with, and they, reveal to me that usually first it's, I eat good. I don't know what's wrong. And they're not actually being super authentic with themselves. But if they really looked at what they were doing, eventually we get to the point where after about an hour of talking, they finally admit to me that, like, one of their biggest problems or struggles with food is that they're perfect during the day. And they're like, I eat salads, or, I have the same breakfast. And the problem is that at night I starve and I start binge eating and I find myself in the kitchen and I can't stop. Well, then once that stuff starts, they don't log any of that food. They don't actually look in the mirror and see what's happening. They don't put anything into an app so they can see, like, how many calories did I eat? What actually happened? And put that in the conscious mind so that you can actually adjust that and change it. So what I encourage binge eaters, eating disordered clients, this is completely different than what most eating disordered clinics and places I've been, Eating Disorders Anonymous, all the things I've learned, it's completely different. And this is honestly how I beat bulimia, eating disorders. I have Set Free tattooed on my wrist because of this. I truly believe that part of the problem is we are unconsciously eating and using that to soothe our nervous system. And then, yes, it's good to go to Eating Disorders Anonymous, say, hi, I'm eating disordered, just like people go and they say, I'm an alcoholic. But eventually, I don't want people to actually claim that anymore, to put that over them as I'm eating disordered or I'm an alcoholic or whatever your addiction is. Instead, maybe move past that, especially with eating disorders, to something like what we do, where we educate you how food works. We teach you to eat all the food you want while getting results. So instead of being like, I'm on this perfect diet and I can't have the cookie, when you eat the cookie, you log the cookie and you move on. And then you realize a salad and a burger are basically kind of the same. They both have protein, carbs, and fats. You realize that, like, French fries are actually carbs and fats, but so is, broccoli and butter, or broccoli and olive oil. So it just depends on what you need for your body. And just because you have some chocolate doesn't mean you should toss the day away and eat all of the chocolate. Just because you have one cookie doesn't mean you need the whole sleeve of cookies. Just because you have a few bites of candy doesn't mean you need the whole bag of candy, because you can eat candy tomorrow. You can have cookies tomorrow. But one of the biggest things about logging your food when you are binging, or when you're struggling and overeating, when you log that, even if you eat and you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, meaning wake up into the conscious mind while you're like just stuffing your face unconsciously watching TV trying to sedate. When you wake up and you're like, wow, I need to stop this. I need to move forward. I need to figure out what I'm eating. And you go back and you look, a lot of times we eat a lot less than we think, or some of my people actually eat more than they think. But the best thing about it is you can actually see what happened. And when you get on the scale the next day, or you take measurements the next day, and you actually look at your data, it's not really that big of a deal. You realize the reason things are going in the wrong direction is because of the food that you're eating. It's not because of an emotional problem. It's not because, yes, you're using food to sedate, but we can teach you all kinds of other tools to relax your nervous system instead of using food to do that. So I encourage you to stay in the conscious mind. If you're a binge eater, or if you struggle with overeating, or you struggle with, once I eat this food, I can't stop, log every single thing you eat. If you can, log it before you eat. But even if you don't do that, log it after you eat and actually look at yourself. Look in the mirror, look at what you're eating, look at what you're actually putting in your body, so that you can become not only aware, but accountable to that. If you need a coach to help you, let me know. But this month, one of the things we're doing every single day in here on the live videos is we're talking about logging food. Not only just how to log food, different things that you might run into, but why we would log food. So I encourage you to go back, listen to all the live videos. But if you are struggling with those eating disorder tendencies, I encourage you not to shy away from this habit. A lot of people think that logging your food is controlling it and we shouldn't have to control our food, but you wouldn't go and just hand somebody a credit card and say spend without thinking, or a debit card and say spend without thinking. If they have a spending problem, what you would do is then have them stay conscious of what they're spending and like actually monitor it and be like, okay, I can't spend more than I make. It's the exact same thing with our body. People just look at it different. It's just, I can't, you know, I have to burn more than I take in. Otherwise, I'm going to keep getting larger. I'm going to keep gaining fat. And if you monitor it, you can actually look at the data and it's no longer emotional. It's more, I mean, you might get emotional, but you can step outside that emotion and just look at it from a data perspective, just like you would look at that budget as a data perspective. That's emotional too. Money can be super emotional. But once you take the emotion out and you're like, okay, I'm going to take action. I'm going to actually look at these numbers and I'm going to figure out where I need to move. This is how we utilize our tools of logging food. We gather all the information, put it in the app that we have for the FLA movement. Then we can change things around according to what's going on in your life. But if you do not log all the food you eat, or if you log incorrectly, or if you are binging at night and you forget to log that, that's going to be a problem, because all of a sudden you're gaining weight and you don't realize why. And really, you do realize why. We just don't want to face what is actually real. And I encourage you, the most powerful person in the room is the one that has nothing to hide. And the person that you hide something from is going to have power over you. And the worst person to hide something from is going to be yourself. And we lie to ourselves about food all the time. Every single person I get on the phone with that is on a sales call talking about, is this a good like action step for you to join our company? They're lying to themselves most likely about what's going on. They all think they're eating perfect. They think they're doing great. They're working out enough. But realistically, once we dive in, they really knew what the problem was. They weren't sleeping. Their gut's a mess. It's not the hormones. It's actually their action steps. They're working out much less than they used to be. They're sitting during their job and they used to actually be more active. Their steps have gone down. And then their quality of food has changed because they got busier or they got lazy. And now instead of having, something super high quality, they're grabbing a bar on the way to work. So I just encourage you, log everything you eat. If you have a eating disorder, binge tendency, stuff thing that's going on, send me a message. Let's jump on the phone. Let's talk about this. But keep logging your food, guys. Show up every single day. Make sure you log everything and log the food before you eat. And if you're curious about, how to log food and things like that, or if you're like, what do I need to hit my macros? I want to change my body, not just show up and log food. Send me a message. Let's jump on the phone and really get the plan specific to you. And you can work with one of the coaches, you can work with me, and we can actually get you to your New Year's resolutions this year. Have a good day.